Good evening. Welcome to another exciting edition of So Into Bourbon. I'm Glenn. This is Charlie. Charlie, before us on the bar tonight is what?
So Into Bourbon is proud to present Peerless Toasted Batch 2.
Okay, Peerless Toasted Batch 2. And I know what you all are thinking out there. Oh my gosh, they're just peerless honks. That's all they do is peerless.
And you'd be right. No, it's not all we do, but when they have releases like this,
And they're right in the backyard, in your backyard.
and you stand up and take notice, and so you're right. We are doing it again. Peerless Toasted Batch 2. Tell them the specs. There are no specs. We know it's at least 5 years old. We know this is a double barrel product. This is aged 5 years. We don't know the mash bill. And then it's put into a secondary new charred oak toasted barrel.
So toasted and charred.
Yes.
Right?
Toasted prior to char.
Or just toasted.
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know.
Thought you did your research on
toasted.
this, Charlie.
Well, to be considered bourbon, it has to be charred, but it does say.
Well, the original barrel was charred.
Correct. So this says, this bourbon whiskey was finished in a toasted barrel heated with smaller flame for a more extended period of time than the standard charring method.
Okay.
So
probably
it
just
could
toasted
just be
and not
toasted.
Not charred.
Why do they toast things?
Do you want me to tell them, Charlie?
Do you want me to
Would
say
you
the
like
word?
me to explain this?
The chemistry word?
Say the word.
You say the word.
Lactone.
Lactones. It releases lactones in the wood that give vanilla and caramel flavors. Lactones. And
It
they say
lactates. The
they-
wood lactates.
that's not. Nope.
Nope. That's not what it does?
Nope.
Okay.
That's not what it does. And if, yep, so could, maybe, I don't know, maybe people will watch because of that. We could edit this out. Who knows?
We're not
Maybe
editing.
we're not editing this.
No, seriously though. Releases lactones, which in turn does what?
Flavors of the wood. You get more caramel and vanillas and sweet savory flavors. So in toasted is just literally baking the wood instead of heavy charring it. So you get into the wood more, releases all those chemistry flavors. If we're a little slap happy, it is only because we are super pumped about this release. If you watched our previous toasted barrel, batch 1, you know that it is pretty darn good, and we are very excited about this one.
Very excited. Let's get into it.
Let's do it. So, firstly, is there anybody in the bourbon game that has a better bottle than Peerless?
Not many.
I
Maybe not better, maybe as good, but maybe not better.
It's just the best. It's just an
There's
an
really
unbelievable bottle.
not many others like it. Maybe Chattanooga whiskey, their bottle's a little similar.
Yeah, it's kind of similar. It's not as cool as this. And as always, two things. Number one, Corky Taylor IV signed our bottle, as he often does at their releases. And congratulations to Mr. Taylor on his induction into the Bourbon Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Charlie, you know what we need to do?
Drink this.
We need to go over to Peerless and have a conversation with Corky. See if we can get him to sit down with us.
I think that's an excellent idea. Shan't we talk color?
Beautiful color, as usual, on just about everything we get from Peerless.
Great color. Specs on this, 109.4 proof, batch 2. We do not know how many barrels make up this batch. I went to this release, got into line, had an awesome experience. Peerless releases are always great. We'll splice in some photos maybe if Glenn feels like it, but very excited for this one. So.
I have to put my glasses on here to see
What are you looking
what
at?
this looks like. I'm seeing what kind of legs it has. They're few and far between, so it really clings to the glass there.
I'm gonna nose now. I'm so excited.
Got that old, familiar, beautiful, Peerless smell.
It's just it's weird. It's 100. I even need to look. 109.4 proof. I get no ethanol. It has a very light nose, almost.
It's a really sweet nose. It's got that nice cola, like carbonated beverage
So excited.
feel to
I'm
it.
so excited.
Cheers.
Peerless.
You know,
Just don't ruin it.
you need a moment.
Just don't ruin it. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The more I drink Peerless, the more I love it. Because they just consistently put out a superior product that challenges your palate, yet retains what you expect from this distiller, right?
100%. We have talked about this in depth, and when we were on the Final Third Cigar, if you haven't watched that episode, Final Third Cigar has a YouTube channel. We were fortunate enough to be on there. One of the bottles we took with us was a Peerless, and I kind of went down the Peerless rabbit hole and told them why I like it and love it. Peerless is a serious bourbon. This is not a beginner's bourbon. This is for the discerning bourbon connoisseur. Proofy and flavorful and cascading flavor from start to finish. Just on another unbelievable release from Peerless.
I get like sweet vanilla at the start of this one. And then all of a sudden that spice kind of rushes in, and a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of, I hesitate to say smokiness.
No, I
yeah,
100% agree. This is, and we loved batch one, and we will, the reason we don't have batch one is we didn't want to be conflicted between drinking batch one and comparing them right now. We wanted to exist in this moment in time, enjoy batch two. Do you think we're going to do a side-by-side? We will. But for right now...
Can I stop you?
No.
I really appreciate you covering for me. The real reason we are not comparing to batch one tonight is because I forgot to bring the bottle.
My way sounded better. Thank you.
I really appreciate you covering for me.
My way.
But I have to be honest with our viewers.
Even if he would have brought it all day, I've been thinking it deserves its own episode. It deserves its own time to shine. This bottle and this pour is, there is nothing perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. But if you're a bourbon drinker and you enjoy bourbon flavor, and we all know what bourbon flavor is, it's sweet and savory and caramel and sugars and oak and smoke and spice. This has
all of it.
All of that.
Yeah.
All of that. And it's none of the flavors are too intense. It is a perfect balance of everything you want in a bourbon. Now, with that being said, serious. This is not oh, I'm reaching for that all the time. This is a sock you in the mouth. Like, and I say this all the time. You're probably sick of hearing it. Cold winter's eve. It's cold. It's dark early. You're like, I need a serious pour.
Or this is a bottle when a friend comes over.
Yeah, you want to taste something crazy? Yeah,
Here,
this is it.
Let's have this.
Yeah.
It's and you use this expression all the time, cascading flavors. This is the definition. It's like they just kind of keep coming at you.
Truly. I mean, truly, it is. The oak, it has a nice kind of leather oak on the front that immediately starts. It tells you you're drinking a bourbon here, buddy. And then it balances that with some sweetness and some light caramel and some vanilla that doesn't hang around long. And then you're left with a little bit of spiciness and an awesome mouthfeel and a finish that just sits, just hangs around. Another, it's perfect. It is, and I hate saying perfect, but the great thing about bourbon is when you buy a bottle like this and you're rewarded, because we have all bought bottles, whether it's $39 or $139 or more, where you open them and it doesn't live up to the expectations.
How much was this bottle?
This bottle was $124.99, and as of right now, July 18th, it is still available on Peerless's website for purchase They only ship to a couple of states, so check there, but you can order it, purchase
Get it at the distillery.
and then go get it at the distillery. But I've never been disappointed in a Peerless. And yes, I know that's a lot of money to spend, but if you're going to spend it, it should be something that gives you an experience that you will not forget.
That's a bottle I've never regretted
Ever.
what I've paid for
Ever.
a bottle of Peerless. Just haven't.
Ever.
And it's not one that you see on the secondary market really either. I mean, it's not like you can go and buy these bottles.
I have it's funny you mentioned that there are the Peerless single barrels are often hard to find. Mm-hmm. They are a craft distillery at heart. They do not have a ton. They're not churning out, mass produced quantities. Even the Peerless Double Oak, the batch Double Oaked, is often hard to find. There is no secondary for them and I don't think it's because people don't want them.
Because they're drinking them.
It's because they're keeping them. They're keeping them. That I have it. I'm not selling that. I can't replace it.
Right.
And I really have that I'm going to die on that hill that's why you don't see them more on secondary.
Yeah. I agree. I think they're in the price point that it's in. Not everyone's buying them, right? And most people who are buying them to drink.
This is a bourbon connoisseur, a bourbon fan, a bourbon junkies brand. Like you buy it, and the people that say, oh, it's too expensive, with respect, I disagree. Because if you think this is too expensive, but you're going to pay secondary price for a Weller Shelfer or an E.H. Taylor, I mean, really?
Yeah.
Like with respect, this is just a different animal altogether. And what Peerless is doing is just unbelievable. Another amazing offering. The release day was great. I got there super early. So quick story. I actually got to go to the release.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was out of town.
I was on vacation. I got there at like 10 after 9. There was 2 people standing up at the door, and I thought, am I here on the wrong day? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Because the last time Glenn went for batch 1,
the line was
around the corner. Well, by 10, it was. It's a great experience. They shuffle you in. You get your bottles. Corky is there signing. And they also had a table. Oh, I got to see Rye Cat. They have a distillery cat. Rye Cat. Follow Rye Cat on Instagram. Love Rye Cat. And they had a table filled with bottles. And while I was waiting to check out for my toasted, which is what I was there for, a gentleman who worked there said, hey, make sure you check out our table. We got a lot of old Dusties over there. And I was like, what do you mean Dusties? And he goes, we've got some older releases of ours. So everybody else, I was 4th in line. Everybody else got their autograph or got their bottles, went to get in line with Corky, and I was like, I'm going to go check out this table. They had one of these, at least at the time. This is a Peerless, obviously, double oaked, single barrel, number 3 from 2021.
Ooh.
There's no reason for us to review this at all.
Because you're not going to find one.
Because you're not going to find it. Because it's from 2021. It's the 3rd release from Peerless. And but we're going to drink it in front of you, and we're going to tell you how it is. Because honestly, I just want to. So this is their double oaked, obviously. And it is a single barrel. And if you know anything about Peerless or followed, these are becoming more and more rare because the demand for these is incredibly high.
Peerless has the reputation for their double oaked, especially, is growing and growing. So.
And it's funny you mentioned kind of the secondary. Oh, best noise ever. I genuinely don't think there was an amount of money I would sell this bottle for. I was so excited to get this bottle.
Which, by the way, it looks like motor oil in the bottle.
Just looking at it, and they had a double oaked rye, and at some point you just have to say like, hey, I can't spend that much money. Now this one was a little more. This was $145 or $149. Look at that color. Oh my gosh.
I'm already nosing.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy. This is 114.4 proof. I can smell it from here.
It smells freaking fantastic. It's got a... So I'm going to go back. And this is... And we haven't posted this video yet, and maybe by the time we get this one up, no, we probably, even by the time this one airs, you will not see this video yet. So when I went to Peerless and did the barrel pick with Bruzel, there was one of the barrels that we tasted. All I could say was, this tastes like purple. I don't even know what that means, but it made perfect sense to me at the moment, and I'm getting that right now.
If you would like to see a Soda Bourbon shirt that says "This tastes like purple," Glenn, let me know.
Do you understand what I'm saying, though?
What's weird is I kind of do. It has a deep. There's a little bit of ethanol on it, 114 proof.
The name of this single barrel should be Deep Purple.
Deep purple. I get it. It almost smells like, it's going to sound weird, it almost smells like distilled Kool-Aid. Like, I mean, it's just, it has a fruit funk to it.
And it also has a really savory note to it.
Oh, man.
As well.
Cheers to one you can't get.
Oh, my gosh. Holy crap. That may be one of the best yet. That's, there's a lot going on there. It's got like a nice grape note, but it's also got like a savory, not quite like a barbecue, which I've got a barbecue note on some of their bottles, but it's kind of there.
Oh my gosh.
And then a really, really semi-sweet chocolate, like almost a bitter, not super bitter, but not really sweet chocolate note.
If you're watching this and you have not experienced Peerless and you don't understand the hype or this, that, or the other, blah, 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 you are doing yourself a disservice. If you are a bourbon fan and you have not went to Peerless, purchased some Peerless, got some Peerless, whatever, you are doing yourself a disservice. The flavors that you get from these bottles, and I know that sometimes they're cost prohibitive, split it with a buddy. Because as a bourbon fan, you have to at least say you've tried them.
Split it with 8 buddies.
Split it with 10 buddies.
Crack the bottle and drink the whole thing.
Drink the whole thing. Unbelievable pour. Everything that you said, like just in terms of flavor and what you get there, it is just all of the bourbon flavor. If I were to compare it, so let's talk a comparison. The toasted, because these are both double oaked. This one's double oaked in a new, but not toasted. This one is in a toasted. What's the difference between them? What flavor would you say?
So,
I put you on the spot.
I would say this one's more of a, it's more rounded. It's more, I don't want to say delicate because it's not delicate. There's nothing delicate about it.
Yeah. This
one smacks you in the mouth a little bit more as far as, in my opinion. This one's more of a...
That's interesting you say that, because I was going to disagree. I was going to say that this is a little more tame, especially mid-palate to finish. This is a madman, at least for me. And this is what's great about bourbon, is that they're different, and I can pour you a little...
You need to compare them head to head?
You want to pour? You want a little more toasted?
Are you going to do this to me? I got to pour you more?
Dude, hey, it's here to be celebrated and enjoyed. 100%. We're going to drink some more. The toasted to me is a little sweeter.
Yes, the toasted is sweeter. It doesn't have that savory note, and maybe that's to me, maybe that's what feels like it's kind of rounding it out.
The nose is so different in going back to it. So when we first noticed the toasted before the double oaked, I thought, man, it's kind of muted. It's you know, it's there, but it's delicate.
It doesn't have that purple though.
It does not have the purple. This is this is my toasted. So if you want to see a difference, color is similar. The toasted is a little darker. I know you probably can't see that, but that's okay. Take our word for it.
I think the double oak's definitely darker.
Yes. The toasted has this kind of burnt caramel nose to it, which sounds weird now that I say it. Burnt. Who's ever burnt caramel? But anyways, that's what it noses. The double oaked is just burnt everything. It's just
burn ends.
It's yes. It is that, and I love that kind of smoky char barbecue. They're
both great.
They're both unbelievable. The toasted I could see being more of a sipper, like I'll have a little pour of that toasted, a little sweet and savory. The double oaked single barrel is.
I don't get the chocolate on the toasted. I get more of the semi-sweet chocolate on the double oaked.
I would agree with you. I get definitely more vanilla and caramel. But boy, are they both great. And that's what I mean. If you're waiting in line at big six distilleries, Wild Turkey and Heaven Hill and Buffalo Trace and all those guys, like that's great. But you could show up at Peerless at 9:45 and get these bottles. And yes, I know they're expensive, but what you're paying for is well worth it.
Right. Instead of paying $150, $200 for a bottle of the B word on the secondary market, go grab you one of these for $120 or $80 for just a regular Peerless.
I got to tell you though, as excited so here's my emotions, and I know we're kind of running long. My emotions on the day, I was very excited for the toasted. Then I got the double oaked single barrel, and I was like, I was more excited for that one. I do have to tell you, the toasted, when you drink them side by side, the toasted holds its own, and the toasted is really darn good.
I would agree.
To be able to stack up against a double oak single barrel.
Yeah. This is very unique. I like unique. So is this though. They're both great. I couldn't pick. I don't know if I could pick one over the other.
Yeah, it's like 1A and 1B. They're both, and really and truly, it may just be mood bourbon. What mood? Do I want something that's just, it's been a long day, kids are yelling at me, I think I need the double oaked, or you know what, it's been a pretty good day, I want something sweet and savory.
Can't disagree.
Peerless. Get your butt to Peerless and buy some Peerless, or order some Peerless, or find some Peerless and get some Peerless. What are you doing?
I got all of a sudden some Milky Way candy bar
on the toasted
in my mouth. Yeah.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
While we're sipping, I think we're kind of getting carried away here. Don't forget to check out our merch. Link is on the page. I'll put it in the comments as well. Not only can you get this beautiful piece of artisanry, we also have, do you like that word? Artisanry? We also have another t-shirt, a black t-shirt with the So in the Bourbon logo, just like this, and a big one on the back. Baseball caps, trucker hat, and golf towels.
We have them all. Oh, you know what?
We have women's tees too.
We have women's sizes too. Look at that golf towel. Yeah. Beautiful golf towel.
Check it out.
Everybody says it.
Also, don't forget to follow us on socials. So in the Bourbon on Facebook and Instagram. Whiskey Realtor on TikTok. And as always, keep those wallets loose.
And your bungholes tight. Good night, everybody.
Peace out.
Go buy some Peerless.
Blind for you. Shut your eyes and put this in your mouth, boy. Tell me what it tastes like.
Anybody else hear banjo music? What were you talking about? That was weird.
See what I did there?
Did you do that with your mind?
I'm a witch. I'm a Mitch.
You're a Mitch.
I'm a Mitch McConnell.
You're a mensch. Anything. We don't know what we're doing, but we know we're doing it really well. Action.
Well, I mean, some people.
I said action.
3, 2, 1.